us being friends, all right, and we fucking love.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
Welcome back to the 2A Brotherhood podcast. We are so grateful to have you guys here. We have a very special guest, Darrell Rostick of Rostick Arms. Man, thank you so much for taking the time out of your Friday evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come spend it with us on the 2A Brotherhood podcast. Take some time right now, introduce yourself, and then we'll get this thing kicked off.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, bro. I am Daryle Rostic. I am the owner of Rostick Arms. We are a firearms manufacturing company, specializing in AR-15s, but we do have some other products that are up and coming, if you will. We've been doing this since about 2022, and I'm just excited to be here, excited to talk about the brand.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Austin, where you at? We need a sponsor shout out, right? But
No,
Dimitri,
so yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say you had some questions that you wanted to go talk about with Darrell. There's some topics you wanted to discuss with him, some main points about his business in the firearms industry.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's basically about like how you guys come up. Take us through the process of making a AR lower.
um, well, first of all, you got to convince yourself that you can do something and be successful at something that literally thousands of other companies are all doing the same thing. But I think we bring a unique style to the table. Our lowers are a little different styled. They are billet lowers, so they're machined from raw aluminum. And ultimately, it's really just about brand building. I tell all my guys, like, our story, our purpose, our mission statement, like that's what sells our rifles. The manufacturing really is the secondary thing. Like, the first thing is people have to understand why we do what we do, and like what's the why behind the what, and then after that they kind of buy into, okay, well, what's the process like, what's the quality like, so on and so forth. But the process is really just as simple as sketching it out on paper. I'm blessed to have some cool friends with machine shops and things that are better than the tabletop CNC I tried to start off with, or even worse, the drill press I started off with, and the router trying to figure it out. And yeah, man, we just been so blessed to get relationships along the way with people who want to help us build and grow.
Okay.
Wow, yeah, that's
So,
great, man.
go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
I was saying that's great. I'm just curious because I don't know too much about that process. Aluminum, is that like an industry standard for lowers?
Yeah, most lowers, I mean, I think pretty much all lowers except for maybe some polymer stuff out there, but the standard is 7075 T6 aircraft grade aluminum.
Okay.
Some people use 6061 aluminum, but that's typically the standard.
Is it like what's the difference? Is it like an alloy or something or?
I think it's just the hardness. Typically, if you would use 6061, you wouldn't want to just Cerakote it straight or something like that. You probably want to anodize and harden it first. It's just a little softer of an aluminum grade.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Do you think it's a big difference in between them, or you think once you anodize it and Cerakote it, it's on the same level?
I think once you anodize it, it's fine. A type 3 hard coat anodize will typically harden any surface, and it's pretty much bomb proof after that. So uh, you know, I the difference. It's funny that you said the difference, because I was like, the difference in aluminum or like difference in AR brands? Because that's usually where all the debates come in at is the difference between a $200 rifle and a $2,000 rifle and or whatever people are paying for Knight's armament these days, arms, legs, kidneys, whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and Noveski used to be one that was crazy price too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and some of the brands I get it, and then some of the brands I'm just like they just got strong brands, and
Yeah.
you can't knock the hustle.
Hey, you right about that, right? And like I said, a lot of these companies get their lowers made from another company, and then they just put their stamp on it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is I always tell my friends this, like in reality, that is the majority of your AR-15 brands. And personally, I don't feel like there's anything necessarily wrong with that because I feel like people should only manufacture what they make the best. And if you don't make the best lowers, but you want to put out lowers, you should pay the person who makes them the best.
Right, exactly. Or fake it till you make it, right?
Man, because we don't make barrels. Like a lot of people ask, well, like who or what kind of barrel? I'm like, we don't make our own barrels. Like we have other companies. That's what white label companies are for, right? Like
Yeah.
they manufacture to their standard with your brand, but it's like a press to make barrels is literally a couple $1 million. Like I'm
Jeez.
not there yet, bro.
Yeah.
I'm making rifles in my garage in my basement. Like
Hey, you got to
I'm not
start
there
somewhere,
yet.
right?
Yeah, and that's it. So it's like that's kind of our philosophy is we only make what we can make the best. And whatever we can't make the best, outsource it to who we think can make it the best.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
Right. Most people are like, I just want the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and that's there's so much stuff. We went through a lot of that in the beginning of our journey. Like a lot, our base model rifle was 899, and we had a lot of people like, well, this PSA is only like 599. I'm like, yeah, but there's no quality control. They're slinging 2,000 of those a day. How much do you think they're really checking them? And then you might get a good one, and then we got one, and then uh that was like my second rifle I ever bought, and I remember the bolt snapped after like 60 rounds. And I was like,
Jeez.
yo, this is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? But when you're after the volume and the sales, like, and that's the number one, like you always miss quality control because at that point it's just about the cheapest components that you can slang the fastest. And I tried not to be like that. I'm really a boutique style company. I'm the type of guy, I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but I had a customer in Detroit, Michigan, and I drove 2 hours to deliver her gun so she could meet the owner of the company. We took pictures together. Like I paid her transfer fee because she ordered a full custom rifle. And like I was like, yo, you should get the full experience. So then one day if I'm on my job and we blow up big, she'd be like, yo, I remember when he hand delivered my rifle. Like, you know what I mean? I'm more of the boutique experience. We'll get to the Noveski level at some point if it's meant to be.
Yeah.
I never heard of Noveski before, Rob. You never mentioned them to me before
And you wonder why?
because they're expensive.
Well, for
Never
something
mentioned the
you,
$3,000 rifle.
yeah, for a lower, like a regular lower that another company made, and they just got them to put their stamp on it.
That's
Basically.
how typically all rifle companies start
Yeah.
that way. Like, we started off that way. Like everybody kind of starts off that way because it just makes sense. In the beginning, you don't have capital for 7-axis CNC machines and you know what I mean, scrap bins for the aluminum and like you're not set up for an operation like that typically.
Yeah.
Typically, you're a guy in his garage who started off building other people's stuff and was like, "Hey, I think I can do this." Like, you know what I mean? So like I don't knock any company that takes somebody's lower, put their logo stamp on it. Like at the end of the day, as long as you're specking it out and you're
Yeah.
doing quality assurance, like that's the goal. Give the end customer the best rifle possible. Like
Yeah.
how you get there is completely irrelevant to the customer, right? Like they want to know when they purchase from you that they're getting the best their money can buy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we had Dakota. He's the Pew Doctor on TikTok, I think. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you ever heard of him, but we had him on here, and he said he's seen Daniel defenses come in, and that they were like, Rob, what did he say that was off? Um,
And what?
in the Daniel defense ones, that the Palmetto Arms ones had better something. Dang, I forgot what he said.
I don't remember him saying that.
He did. Well, anyway, yeah. So what he was getting at was like just because you're purchasing this fancy, you know, rifle that costs a lot of money, that doesn't mean that you're going to get the best end product, like you were saying, because
Absolutely.
they don't
Mm-hmm.
check it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And um when companies are slinging thousands and tens of thousands of rifles a month and stuff like that, like stuff's bound to get missed just purely from a manufacturing standpoint. Like the gauge checks, the quality checks, like there's I'm assuming they run AQLs, which are acceptable quality limits. And
Hmm.
so they have real workforces that are doing gauge checks every hour. But what happened in the 55 minutes in
Right.
that hour where nobody was gauge checking, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
is the manufacturing is a process. Like I worked in manufacturing for 15 years before I started a company, and like it is a process, man. And sometimes stuff gets missed, and it's all about how companies handle it when stuff's not right. But it doesn't surprise me that a Daniel Lower could get out there and a PSA could
Mm-hmm.
be better or more in spec for certain parts, and
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
like it happens.
Yeah.
We've had parts
Yeah.
that uh we get defects, and thank God we catch them in house. But like if something
Yeah.
ever did get to the customer, like we
Mm-hmm.
we just handle it. Like that's manufacturing, man. That's
Yeah.
how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah. People don't understand like anything man-made can fail. You know what I mean? Or
Absolutely.
yeah. And it's just like it's not like the brand. It just could be you just got a bad batch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. And it's also just human error. Someone could have been having a bad day that day.
Yep.
Yeah, especially when you start thinking about like if you've ever worked in manufacturing before, like everybody there is not on the mission trying to get the best product out. Like you got people taking extra smoke breaks, you got people in the bathroom checking their phone on Twitter. Like manufacturing is a wild game, man. And so
Yeah.
the people in the office, their hearts might be in the right place, but the people on that production floor, and that's why I'm thankful I got a small team right now. Like
Mhm.
I get to put hands on every rifle that goes out the door. And I know that won't last forever. But my goal is to replicate myself and whoever's replacing me in that supply chain of product. And that way they have the same heart. Like I need to put hands on every single rifle going out this door and make sure that is right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good
Uh,
philosophy right there.
I know Elon Musk said that the hardest part of making his Teslas is the manufacturing process. So
Yeah.
imagine that's a billionaire saying
Right.
that, you know?
Because you can't, if your workforce is 15,000 people, you can't replicate yourself 15,000 times. Everybody's not going to have the same enthusiasm for a product. Some people are there just for a paycheck. Some people are there, like you said, they get a bad employee review. Next thing you know, they go on the line and they just let all type of defects pass. Like, manufacturing is a wild game. And sometimes I think the YouTubers of the world, the gun reviewers of the world, they might get something bad and all of a sudden they got the half the internet questioning the company. When in reality, you got one bad one out of 683,000 of them. Like
Yeah, that's
That
pretty
that
damn good.
ratio is actually really good. Like, you know what I mean? But you you gotta manufacturing being on this side of the gun equation is a totally different world than just being on the consumer side of things.
Yeah, we don't see the hard work that goes into it. We just open
Yeah.
up a box and we're excited.
That's it, man. And like a lot of people are quick to like want to cancel companies and things like that. And I'm like, yo, you need the manufacturing companies because if they stop doing what they do, like what is the Second Amendment if people stop producing guns? Like,
Yeah.
what is it? Like it's got to be a hand-in-hand relationship. And I think that's kind of the beauty in my city. Like people can touch me, they can talk to me. Pause on the touching me part. But like yeah, I'm sorry, I'm heavy on pauses. Like, but people can access me, people can see me. They talk to me about the products. Like my wife knows whenever we go to the store, like plan an extra 30 minutes because somebody's gonna recognize me and want to talk for a minute. Like, and that's kind of the beauty of the product. Like they get to hear my heart behind it. They get to hear it.
Mm.
They say, "Oh, I don't like that you don't do ambi lowers." I'm like, "Oh, really? Tell me why you need an ambi lower." And like the community gets to build this with me, and that's kind of our superpower right now.
Yeah, that's a live review right there, man.
Yeah, happens every day, at least once a day.
Well, that's good. That means you're known in your community, you know. But you mentioned something about a 2011 that you guys are making too.
Yeah, man, we have what I feel like is the perfect double stack 1911. I can't call it legally a 2011 because Staccato owns that phrase.
Mm.
They trademarked it, but for the sake of conversation, it's a 2011. But we do have a double stack 1911. I'm really, really excited about it. It's called the Levite, and it's an amazing pistol. It is a expensive pistol. Um, it was our first attempt at going after more of a premium customer. The base model without V10 porting up top is 26.99, and with the V10 porting and some extras in the box, it's 34.99. So definitely a little more pricey than a $900 rifle or even a $1,500 rifle,
Mm.
but we feel like it's worth it. We always say we built the perfect gun at the worst time because the economy is shit right now. And it's like who's buying $3,500 guns when gas is $5
$4.
a gallon? But
Oh, jeez.
at the same time, they're trickling, like sales are trickling in and people are getting them and they're loving them, and we just gotta be patient. Like we got to ride this economy out. Like I tell my team, we don't have to sell 2,000 of those a day. Like if we can get one sale of those a week and that one person becomes an advocate for the brand, like I'm happy. So,
Hmm.
like I think it's an amazing gun. It's a 5-inch pistol. It's all steel, steel frame, steel slide, steel components, and aluminum grips, aluminum mag well. Comes with Metgar metal mags. Like I think it's a pretty impressive gun. V10 porting is amazing. I didn't know that V10 ports was actually something that was invented by a guy named Dave at DSC Gunworks in Michigan. And
Hmm.
so it was funny. He saw my gun and he shot me a DM like, when did you guys start doing that? Like I invented that. He said he tried to trademark it or something and he couldn't. And yeah, but a lot of hard work went into this gun, man. A lot of testing and evaluation, a lot of money. Oh my gosh, I am still upside down on that project. Like people are like 3,500 is a lot, and I'm like, yeah, try still being at negative 19,000 on the project. Like it takes a lot to produce a handgun. I was like, oh my gosh, but it's all part of the game, man.
Yeah. Uh, we have Rambo in the chat, and he said this: "I know some people." So, what from when you guys started, how have you innovated your rifles?
Our first rifles, I don't want to say they sucked, but I'm gonna say when we started, we were more parts assemblers, right? Like when we started, I knew the components to make a rifle. Like I was building my own rifles. I knew the components to put together. We were doing exactly what Rob alluded to. Like we're just getting forgings. We had our logo stamped on them. Like we really were just trying to build the brand, get our name out there. What I learned over time is AR-15s are a system, and you got to figure out what parts cohesively work with what systems. Like you might hear people say things on social media like tolerance stacking and
Yeah.
trying to avoid tolerance stacking. And what that means is like a BCM bolt may not fit well with a FN upper receiver because they weren't machined to go together, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you can't just take whatever parts are on sale or the cheapest parts and slap together a rifle. It doesn't run cohesively. It will function, but it won't run. And I think that's probably the biggest difference is now learning what works, learning how to spec out parts. We learned how to build a cohesive system that just runs like where people shoot our rifles and they're like, yo, I can't believe how smooth this is. Like, it's not
Hmm.
even an adjustable gas block, but it's not super overgassed. And like, those are the things that we've really learned over the years is how to build a cohesive unit that works together versus just checking the box of does it has a gas tube, does it have a gas block, does it have a bolt, does it have a bolt carrier? Like, that's kind of how we started in the beginning. And then as we progressed, I was like, nah, we got to figure out what parts really work together to give a good experience.
Okay.
Mm, beautiful. Awesome.
Sometimes that learning process is the most important thing, right?
And the most expensive thing. Like it take, we didn't have any loans, anything. I didn't even have money saved up. Like I built my first Aero precision lower from start to finish, and then I built an upper from start to finish. And I went home and told my wife when I fired it and it worked, I was like, I know what I want to do the rest of my life. And then I did nothing but study for like a year. Boom, a year to the date, bought my LLC, jumped in the deep end. I'm reaching out to all these companies. I'm going to the SHOT Shows. I'm learning, networking, meeting all these people. And then I just learned like, oh my God, we spent a whole lot of money and we do not have a great product yet. It was
Yeah.
nuts. Like it was absolutely nuts. But we learned a lot. We grew a lot of relationships. We learned there were definitely people in the industry we should not have relationship with. And that is okay. Like I learned do not send every influencer that reaches out to you a gun, like no matter how many followers they have. Like we sent some of the biggest influencers in the world guns, and we were like, oh yeah, we know we're gonna be rolling in the dough. And then they made a video and it got us like 100 followers, and that was that. And we was like, oh
Mhm.
shit. Like we do that too many times, we'll go broke.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's that conversion rate.
yeah. So,
Absolutely. Like we learned the difference in just giving influencers gun versus things like affiliate programs. Like we have a really robust affiliate program now where you really have to, we got different tiers you can apply to. And we know people want to get hands on our stuff. So we have a loaner program. Like
Mm.
I think it's a way more robust now than it's in the beginning. I was like, do they have over 10,000 followers? Send them a rifle. And it was like, the ROI on that was in the toilet.
Yeah. I think they say for it's like companies are happy if they get 10% return.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like when you are a Daniel Defense, you can afford numbers like that. Like
Hmm.
as small as we are, like I said, we'll go broke. Like
Yeah, yeah.
we can't afford that at all. And so I took a different approach. I really took a community-based approach and was like, hey, instead of going to Coleon Noir and saying, hey, can you do this for us? Why don't we go to our local range and go to the 3-gun matches and just say, hey, why don't you run our gun today? See how you like it. Ammo on us. We'll cover your ammo. If you run our gun, give us feedback. Like, that has been way more successful than trying to reach the mega influencers of the YouTube world.
Yeah, I bet.
So, so you were talking
That's pretty
about
interesting.
you were talking about tolerance stacking and finding out what components, like what brand of components go with what. Number one, have you thought about getting into, or do you, and if not, have you thought about getting into making your own components? And then if like not, if there's parts that you're not going to, what do you suggest is like good companies to work with?
So we've thought about getting into our own components. But again, it's kind of what I told you in the beginning, which is you should only manufacture what you make the best. And if you are not confident enough to say, we're gonna take this CNC and take machine time away from uppers, lowers, handguards, and we're gonna focus it on bolt carrier groups. If we're not making the absolute best one, I don't feel like we should be making it. And there is plenty of uh there a lot of them are called just white label companies. But we found more luck in giving the specs that we think would be the best to local machine shops and saying, hey, can you run this for us? Can you make this for us? That way we keep the money local and we're kind of more hands-on in the process, because you could go to companies. My first SHOT Show, Aero Precision was like, we can make your whole rifle. We can manufacture the whole thing.
But
And
then
so
it's Aero
basically
Precision's rifle.
yeah, like, and that sounded great to me at first until you seen
Yeah.
like the minimum quantity was 500 and you got to
Yeah.
put a PO every quarter in for 125. And I'm like,
Yeah.
buying 125 rifles is crazy to me when I am running this whole operation out of my garage.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And so, but that being said, manufacturing wise, Arrow is a great company to work with. Like, they are a very standardized company that I feel like puts out what I would consider the entry level to very reliably running rifles. Like, people had their bad experiences, but Arrow is a powerhouse. Ballistic Advantage, they do great stuff. Roscoe is amazing to work with as far as making barrels, but now they're making other things. They're making ambi charging handles. They're making gas blocks now. And all these companies, once you have your '07 FFL and you're a manufacturer, all these companies will make components for you. It's just a matter of figuring out, one, what their minimum quantity is, and two, does it run cohesively with the system that you're trying to build? Like, I love Roscoe. I love the reps over there. I love the guys in the manufacturing floor. I love the guys at SHOT Show. Like, we always have a great time. And it's really just a matter, like I said, figuring out what company will do the best work for what you're trying to do and for what your budget is. Because some of them charge so much. I'm like, we would have to sell it to the customer for $8,000, and like that, it just doesn't make
Jeez.
sense. Yeah, some companies are like crazy, or they're like, yes, we'll do it for you. You just got to give us a $60,000 deposit, and I'm like, that's like our whole bank account, bro. Like, absolutely not.
In the future, are you thinking about like making suppressors and stuff like that?
We do have prototype suppressors. I have not teased them to the public yet because, one, I don't believe in showing the public things that they cannot buy from you. If you show it, you better
Yeah,
be able to
yeah,
sell it.
yeah.
And then two, everybody's running to the suppressor game right now. And I I almost feel like I told my team, what we have right now is working. Do you guys want to stop what's working to try to jump in another game right now that's just a cash grab,
Mm-hmm.
or do we wait till places like or people like GOA can get suppressors moved off the NFA list? Because if they're removed, then you just got to run a NICS check,
Mm-hmm.
or then we don't have to compete with suppressor companies. Then we just make the best suppressors for our rifles and say, you know what, we can sell you this whole system, and
Mm-hmm.
it's built to work cohesively together. Versus right now, everybody's just they don't know if they want flow through, if
Mm-hmm.
they which flow through cans are super ass, by the way. They don't know if they want sound suppression, flash suppression. We had a customer asking us about the best suppressor to reduce his thermal signature, and I'm like, "Who the fuck are you at war with?" Like, I mean, excuse my language, guys. Excuse
No,
my
it's
language.
No,
okay. It's
that's cool.
okay. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm just like, whenever does your thermal signature matter? Like, where are you going? Where's the fight, bro? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and
Throwing shots
so
down range.
you know what I mean? Like, I guess like for me, it's like I want to build the best suppressor that works with our system, but I don't want to rush to try to build something that works for everything, because that's what I feel like with flow through. Everybody rushed to flow through thinking, oh, it's perfect for everything. And then you just get a headache if your system is not set up to run with a flow through thing. And then it's like, well, is the suppressor wrong, or is the gun wrong? Is the gas block wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Or is the gas all venting out the front and not putting enough back pressure wrong? Like, it could just be a headache, especially to an untrained consumer who's just buying what Instagram told him to.
Mm-hmm. Can you explain the what flow through is through the suppressor?
So flow through cans are what they do is they vent the gases forward. The benefit is it keeps gas out of your face,
Mm-hmm.
which is truly a benefit, especially for high round count days. And that's kind of where I utilize my flow through suppressor is when I'm shooting YouTube videos or website videos, and I know I'm gonna blow through 600 rounds. Like, that's a lot of gas to be coming back in my
Mm-hmm.
face. So flow through cans vent that gas forward. The problem is sound suppression almost goes out of the window with flow through cans, and that's why I say they're ass. Like, flow through cans they're so loud, like it's nuts. It's almost like I got an expensive ass muzzle brake. Like, it's crazy. And then titanium cans spark like it's nobody's business. Like, it's crazy how much they spark. It kind of dies down and tapers out the more you shoot them. But in like the first 100 rounds, you're like, oh my gosh, what? You almost think you got a baffle strike. Like, what is sparking so much? It's crazy. So that's what a flow through can is kind of all about. It's keeping the gases out of your face, which is, don't get me wrong, that is important. But it all depends on what your goal is. The average consumer who's buying a suppressor for home defense, for self-defense, sound suppression is what matters to them the most, right? Like, I want to protect my home. I also don't want to blow my eardrums out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is the important thing. But right now, the market is flow through crazy. And then you get the hybrid companies that are trying to do both. And I just think it's not wise for us to try to play in the space right now. Let the market settle down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens if suppressors can come off the NFA list, and then let's build the best suppressor for our gun so we can sell a whole system
Mm-hmm.
versus just trying to rush to market for cash.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a smart way to go about it. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's a very honorable thing to do too, because
Yeah.
most people are just like money.
Man, listen, bro. If I did what was best for the money, I wouldn't be in this industry at all. Like, I mean, any FFL can tell you the margin on guns is awful. Like, the money is all in optics, ammo, and all of that. Like, the margins on guns are terrible. New guns, you might make $100 maybe.
Damn.
Jeez.
Yeah, like it's crazy. And then you got the powerhouses like Palmetto State Armory that are selling guns for $2 above cost. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's like you get a customer that comes in the shop and they're like, hey, I want this Glock, but PSA has it $70 cheaper. And you're like, yeah, they also bought 10,000 of them and they didn't pay what I paid. Like, so
Yeah.
it's a crazy game. If money was the goal, this wouldn't be what I would really be doing. I just
Do
happen
you,
to love this industry.
do you think that the money has been affected a lot by the people building their own rifles, piecemealing them from AR strip lowers and piecemealing them together to full kits?
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
you think that's what's
Absolutely.
been affecting the market?
I think that's part of it. Like that's always been a part of the game. The tinkerers have always been around. I can do it better than you can. We go through that a lot. Like a lot of people. In the beginning, I never sold just strip lowers. We just started doing that. I didn't believe in selling strip lowers because the first strip lower I ever sold, we had a guy who put a PSA upper. I'm not scared to say the brand, but they were young back then too, I'm assuming. But he put a PSA upper on one of our lowers and he was shooting a YouTube video. The upper had a catastrophic failure. It was crazy to watch it on camera. I still to this day kind of can't figure out how that happened. But when you watch the video, there's nothing on a PSA lower that says this is or a PSA upper that says this is PSA. It looked like it was just a Rostic Arms rifle. And I was like, that made me sick to my stomach because I was like, the untrained eye would see that and be like, oh, I'd never buy a Rostic Arms. This rifle, the upper blew up. And it was like, no, it didn't. PSA's upper blew up. And
Yeah.
so for that reason, I never wanted to sell strip lowers. Now, what I'm learning is I got two types of customers. One customer is telling me that they just can't afford a whole rifle, but they want to support, they want to be a part of the movement. And I think that's valid, right? I think buying a lower versus buying a whole rifle, economically, that's kind of where people are at right now. But then there is those people who think they can do it better than you, or they don't want a bunch of spare parts. They just want to get what they want in there. And I think that's cool too. Like, I think it's sometimes it can be challenging because some people will send me pictures and be like, can you make this one for me? And I'm like, that's actually not ours. Like, that's customers. But sometimes that gives us ideas too. Like when we see what the customers do with the gun, I'm like, oh, well, if enough people are asking, so like we went through a phase where everybody wanted nickel boron bolt carrier groups. And I was like, it's all because one customer did it, posted a picture and tagged us, and then everybody wanted that. So we were like, oh, maybe that's something we should offer. Like, so it's got its benefits, but for sure, when people think they can do it better than you, like they don't want to spend the money on what you got going. Like they want to show you that they can build your rifle better than you do. And I mean, I'm okay with that. Like that's how I got into this space. You know what I mean? So I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I respect. I think it's. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not guilty of building my own. I'm currently doing that myself with a 300 blackout.
Nice.
But I respect it. But I also do feel that it has tainted the market in the sense of like for you guys, everyone's getting into building now, and it's kind of one of those things where you don't see a whole lot of people unless they're new to the industry or new to, the 2A community, go in and buy a full rifle. I just feel like it's kind of really gotten into Lego pieces now.
Yep, I agree. But it's all about how you can spin that and innovate and help the customer understand the difference. Like I said earlier, when you build your own, you're building pieces that will function.
Yeah.
Will they function
Exactly.
as cohesively as if you just bought our whole system? Probably not.
Probably not.
And if
Probably
it
not.
does, then let me know what you use because that might be something I need to look into. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? But like,
You got some hours of research into that.
that's it, man. But there's no losing this at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
there's no losing here. Like, this is all about how do you grow with your community? We got so much brand loyalty. We have people, I mean, that's why we sell other guns too. Like we have people who they do think they can build their own guns and they don't want our rifles, but they might want some others like the trade-in stuff we get or whatever. Like building a community, like it truly just doesn't matter to me. Yeah, it probably
Yeah.
cuts in on my pockets a little bit, but like so what? Like it's
At the end
fine,
of the
bro.
day,
We'll figure it out.
you got your little corner in the community, and it's doing pretty well. You guys should be proud of yourselves.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it sounds
Uh,
like people are happy with your product because they're coming
Right.
up to you and not cussing you out. You know.
Oh
what I mean?
man. Well, you know, on the flip side of that coin though is I am 6'5", 300 pounds, so I wouldn't recommend running up and cussing me out at all.
I don't know. I heard your
Well,
guys' uppers blow up.
exactly.
That was a joke, everyone. That was a joke.
Exactly.
Uppers do
But
not
no,
blow up.
seriously, like we get so much love, man, and like it's crazy everywhere I go. I was just in Detroit, got stopped by two dudes at a gas station. Like when I'm in SHOT Show, people recognize me from Instagram and YouTube, and like people stop me. I was at dinner the other night. Somebody was like, "Hey, I don't want to interrupt, but like, can I take a selfie with you?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Like, come on, like this is it's kind of dope because I'm not the best, right? Like, and I admit that openly. We're not the best. We just give the customer the best we can offer, right? Like, I'm not the best. I'm not, there's nothing I do the best except give my best. And that's what customers truly appreciate, right? Like, the guy who's about to get deployed and go on a mission, our rifles are not for you, bro. Like, we know that our rifles are for first and second time buyers, right? Like either this is your first rifle or this is your second rifle because you bought some bullshit the first time and now you know what to look for, right? Like that is our clientele, and I'm okay with that. Like our premium model we sell for $15.99, and our whole mantra around it is we upgrade everything that you should have did for your first rifle. Upgrade the Cerakote, ambi controls, better quality bolt carrier groups, chrome hammer forged barrels versus chrome moly vanadium joints. Like we really try to make all the upgrades that a builder would make because that's how I learned the game. Is I used to build myself and learn the difference in the materials and learn what flows well together and DLC coating versus titanium nitrate coating versus like that's all part of the game, man. It's all part of the game.
What torture testing do you put your rifles through?
We uh the best way to say it is for legality purposes, we put triggers that forcefully reset. And the other thing that imitates, and we run the piss out of them. Like we don't necessarily try to burn it down because I think burn downs are irrelevant torture tests because the average consumer will never shoot like that. Nobody is going to run through 20 mags of just dump, 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 dump. Like nobody's gonna do that. There's going to be
See me
some sort of
shoot.
cadence to their shooting. There's going to be some sort of structure to the drills or something. Nobody's just mag dumping as fast as they can through 20 mags. So, but there are things like we do water tests, like how long can we submerge it underwater, pick it up, and it still runs. We do mud tests, like deep burying it in mud and then pulling it out and trying to run it. That's where we learn like DLC bolt carrier groups work really well because that slick DLC finish just shakes right through that mud versus a regular nitrated bolt carrier group. It causes friction. And we were like, so for our premium models, like, oh, maybe we should start offering DLC coded bolt carrier groups, like, or maybe we should make that a more premium option that they can upgrade to, like. So there's those types of tests that we do, but we make it make sense. Like the YouTube torture test culture is so irrelevant to what really happens with rifles. Like, I'm like, absolutely hell no. Like, if you just want to throw away $8.99 and just say that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I've seen the videos where they're like freezing Glocks for like 6 months, putting them in.
Who cares, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool to watch, and like, but just say that, like, you're not proving reliability of one brand over another, because
Yeah.
who's freezing their gun for 6 months and then just pulling it out the freezer and bang, bang, bang? Like, nobody.
Yeah. No, it's no. Yeah.
Maybe that's their
I don't even-
freezer gun. You know what I mean?
I don't even know what consumer can afford to what consumer can afford to just mag dump 20 mags on a range day, just
You
like
know
your
what I
typical
mean?
range
Like-
day. Like no cadence whatsoever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I would love to have that kind of money.
I would love to have that kind of range. Like, at some point, the RSOs around here would be like, "Hey, listen, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like,
Yeah.
you want me to teach you a drill real quick? Like, you got to do something."
Do you also make pistol caliber carbines?
Don't crucify me, okay? I hate pistol caliber carbines.
No, I know a lot of
Oh,
people do. I was
gosh,
just
like-
wondering.
I hate them. We do
That
have
was, that was hard to get off your chest, wasn't it? I support you.
man, because like all my friends, all my team members are like, bro, we have a 9mm prototype that takes Glock mags, and every meeting they're like, put it out. Like, this is what people want. Throw an FRT in it, go crazy, like let them have it. And I'm just like, no, because it's such a waste of parts to me. Like, just build more ARs. Like, don't waste time with it. But I mean,
will
if
have
the
to agree with your
market,
team on that. I gotta agree with your team on that.
do you?
Everyone, I'm not the biggest fan of pistol caliber carbines, right? But everyone fucking loves them right now.
Yeah.
Everyone loves them right now, and they could potentially, I mean, they could flop. And what are you out? If
Right.
they don't, but they could be a hot ticket. And if they grab a lot of people love, especially 9mm's cheap. And it's a lot lighter than 45s, and a lot of people are getting into the 45 pistol caliber carbines. But what do you have to lose on it? It most likely could be a hot ticket and take off. And just because you don't like it doesn't mean no one else can.
And that's kind of probably one of the biggest learnings we've had with this company is you got to build what
Yeah.
the people want. So
The people
I'm
want.
not saying we won't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying somebody else on the team is going to spearhead that project.
I got you.
It's what the people want.
Because like, oh my, in my mind, right, like in the eyes of the owner, I'm thinking that's another SKU. If we're gonna try to go retail with it, that's another UPC we gotta get. That's another testing and evaluation. We gotta source barrels, we gotta source bolt carriers. The buffers in those are not the same as buffers in AR-15s, especially because everybody wants to run FRTs these days. So we got to make sure that we can source the buffers right. And it's just it's, to my mind, it's another thing I got to manage where I'm just like,
So why don't you do a trial
AR-15s
run?
are working.
Why don't you do a trial run, time only, and then just have like 10 set up and see how fast they go.
Because I know when we build those 10, what you're saying is gonna happen, and then we're gonna be the AR-9 guys. I mean, if that's what the people want, man, that's ultimately what we're gonna do. I just think, and it's just a matter of capital too. Like the 2011 soaks up a lot of our capital right now, so
Yeah.
we have to figure out like if we invest heavier into like the AR-9 platform and things like that, then does that mean we have to discontinue the 2011? Can we run more like a skeleton production schedule on it? Like, we got to really start making some other tough decisions because I don't have all the money and I refuse to get loans from the bank. I refuse
That's
to
good.
take on
I like
investors
that.
at this point. Like, I need to know that if my life changed for the worst and I need to shut down, I can turn off the lights and I don't owe a soul a dime. Like, that's kind of my goal.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. What's your favorite? We were just on pistol caliber carbines, right? What's your favorite caliber rifle to make? On an AR platform.
I am obsessed right now with 6 millimeter arc. Like
Mm.
I am obsessed with it. It's around. A lot of people are not hip to, but distance shooting is like a whole, or precision shooting is like a whole new world for me. It
Mhm.
was not at all what I was hip to, but I made a prototype because people were asking about it, and in the testing process, I just fell in love. Like to have a cartridge that can distance wise have similar performance to a 308, but it's in an AR-15 platform, so it means I don't have
Mhm.
to make a heavier gun. Like I'm all about that. And so
Mhm.
I fell in love with 6 millimeter arc. I spend way too much money on it. I buy at least 200 rounds a week, and I'm just burning through it. Stretching out 500 yards. We went to a range that had 860 yards. That's the furthest I've stretched it. And I'm going to a range in a couple weeks that's 1,050 yards. And I'm
Nice.
curious to see how that goes. But like I said, distance shooting is its own beast. You got to get kestrels, and you
Mhm.
gotta you gotta start tracking the speed of the bullet, and scopes is
Yeah.
like a whole nother beast, going mils versus MOA. And
Mhm.
it's not my favorite thing to learn because I'm not good at it, but
Mhm.
it's been the most fun to shoot and to know like you can build 6 arc in a pistol and still reach out to 800-900 yards, no problem.
Damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
the Google machine is saying it's has capabilities over 1,000 yards.
Wow.
Oh yeah, easy, easy. I've seen people stretch it like no problem, well over 1,200 yards.
Mm.
Jeez, how
Do,
can you
do
even see that far? God dang.
do you reload rounds?
Never,
No.
absolutely not ever. Nope. It's not. I don't want the responsibility of what that round does when it goes off. I'd rather be able to sue somebody else.
I feel. I understand because people tell me I should reload all the time, and I'm scared. Just a little bit too much gunpowder, and then
Yeah.
that gun turns into a grenade. So.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean, like people do that with 9 mil all the time. I'm also a firearms instructor, so like when I teach Michigan concealed carry class, like we'll have 2,000 shells on the ground, and some guy just comes. He's like, "I can't believe you don't take this." I'm like, bro, 9 millimeters, $11 a box. Like I always got $11, bro. Like it's okay. I'm not knocking the people who do reload, but I
Mhm.
don't. I don't want that responsibility.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
I think it becomes useful when you get into certain calibers, that is a little more on the pricey side.
Like
It
six
becomes
arc.
useful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
like $1.50 a round. Yep.
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. It gets a little pricier, like 300 blackout. Like subsonic stuff like that. Like it gets a
Mhm.
little pricey, and you
Are
need to
you
start
gonna
getting into the reload.
reload, Austin?
Hell no. I'm broke. I'm always gonna be broke. I'm gonna stay broke, and I'm gonna buy ammo.
I feel you, man.
So back to the torture testing. What's one of the common problems that you see in the rifle that you guys sorry, what's a common problem that you guys saw in your earlier rifles, and how did you guys fix it?
Um, Let me think of a good one because there was little nuances. I think the biggest thing that we saw was like lower parts kits. In the beginning, we used to think all lower parts kits were made equal. We learned that they are not. um, and so lower parts kits are not, it's what holds the gun together. And so
Mhm.
you do want to invest in quality lower parts kits. And so in the beginning, it wasn't really in shooting and testing the rifles, it was in assembly. We would
Mm.
be like, um, hey, this bolt carrier isn't going back far enough for the gun to cycle properly. And then we would be like, oh, that's because this buffer spring is from China and it's way too long. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And so there are companies like CMMG makes a great lower parts kit. And I was like, oh, maybe we should try buying these from an American company that we can talk to instead of buying them and saying,
Right.
well, lower parts kit's a lower parts kit, so just get the
Mhm.
cheapest one they got.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? Or like arrow lower parts kits. There's little things, little nuances that were different that we were just like, okay, even in mil spec triggers, like
Mm.
we learned tricks like how BCM polishes their mil spec trigger and it makes it feel like a superior trigger. And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
this is something we can do instead of just serving the generic mil spec trigger out the box. Like,
Mhm.
so it's kind of really more nuances like that that in the beginning you didn't know. Like you
Mhm.
didn't realize that buffer springs were different. You thought a spring was a spring, and
Mhm.
some springs are louder than others. And
Yeah.
then there's little tricks you can do, like you can take some very fine sandpaper and sand the inside of the buffer tube and get rid of that springy noise, and it's not as
Mhm.
bad. And or you can just buy a better quality buffer and the buffer
Mhm.
spring that may have a different finish on it. Like
Mhm.
there's so many different options that it was like you don't have to settle for
Mhm.
American package but made in China.
Yeah. Ha- have you ever used the flat buffer springs?
No.
No. Mm. Okay, I was just
I was
wondering.
just thinking about those too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a
What's
deep
that
jam
supposed to
on
make
those.
better?
Well, there's like, isn't there? There's less metal, right?
Yeah,
So
it's thinner,
yeah,
and they say it's supposed to last longer and be smoother, but I
right.
don't know.
It's less metal, which means more. It can contract more,
Mhm.
something like that. So therefore,
Yeah.
it equals more absorption.
Mhm. But yeah, they say less recoil, lasts longer, but I don't know. you know.
Well, I always struggle with the last longer thing because the average consumer, like,
It's
when is the last time
not-
you ever shot enough to be like, I need to swap my buffer
Yeah,
spring?
right.
You know what I mean? So there's
yeah.
the gun industry. I summarize this to my team all the time. The gun industry is 15 companies who ultimately make stuff for everybody. And
Mhm.
at that point, it's all about who can market the best. Right? Like there are very few things that are coming out that are truly innovative.
Mhm.
Most times people are just putting their spin on something that when you really break it down, you're like, oh, that's not really creative at all. Like, but
Mhm.
it just is what it is. And so like it's really just a matter of who can market to the consumer the best and build that brand loyalty. But
Mhm.
like it's I don't fall for things like, oh, this will last uh 3 times as long as your typical buffer spring. And I'm like,
Mhm.
shit, I got rifles with 20 something thousand rounds on them. I've swapped bolts, never thought about a buffer spring.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's up to people if they choose to buy into that stuff.
Mhm. Would Would you say mil spec or two stage trigger?
Depends on the purpose of the rifle.
Yeah.
It all depends on as one of my teammates said, it all depends on the mission. What's the mission?
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like, are we going to stop a mass shooter? Are we going to the range? Is this a
Mhm.
patrol rifle for law enforcement?
Mhm.
Like what's the mission here? Are we making a gun for the guy who's going to shoot twice a year? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, most people only shoot twice a year, so
Yeah.
actually once. I had a
Yeah, there's
conversation.
a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a person that told me they carried and they hadn't shot in 6 or 7 years. I was like, "Do you even know if that thing works still?"
Right. Right. Oh my
And you
gosh.
you strap that thing on your hip every single day.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
we get
crazy.
the people who shoot twice a year. I always say the twice a year customers they shoot on the 4th of July and New Year. That's when they shoot. Like, and
When they
I'm just
could
like,
disguise
okay,
it.
hey, one's in the sky and one's in the dirt. And I'm like, if you feel like you want a $2,000 rifle for that, you go right ahead, buddy.
You'll gladly make it.
right.
Absolutely.
So what part of the whole process of making your rifles is the like the biggest pain?
Cerakote.
Yeah.
Cerakote is the biggest because another differentiating factor is we offer colors that other companies don't, and we also offer custom patterns. And I didn't think about the fact that we have one Cerakote guy who also Cerakotes for like a dozen other companies because that's the only way to financially make it make sense. And so we're like, hey, we can get these guns through assembly. We can get 3 rifles an hour and work 10 hours. We got 30 rifles done today. But Cerakote can probably only do 5. And we're like, oh man, that is my biggest bottleneck right now. And kudos to my Cerakote guy, Matt. He owns Titan Cerakote and Engraving. Go, I would say follow him, but I think IG just nuked his page for something. But he does amazing work. But we haven't been able to give him the money to sustainably pay him to just do our stuff. And so that is killing us right now. And then if it's a one color job, I'll step in and do it. But then when I tried stepping in doing like 3 color jobs and laying stencils out and laying heat guns to the stencils so they adhere properly and running the timer, you got to pop it out every 15 minutes and do the next color. And don't fingerprint it because if the oil on your hand touches the Cerakote, it's ruined. You got to sandblast, start all over. Like, Cerakote is rough. But it's the most rewarding, though, because people love custom experiences. They love custom stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had this guy Mike. He had like a proprietary like technology. Yeah, Cerakote. What was his name? His name was Mike, I remember, but
Yeah.
he had a Ceracure. That was his name. His business was called Ceracure. Yeah, and he had his own. They sold the ovens basically that you use for that process. Yeah.
And it cut back to Tom. How much he said it cut it back to? Like
It was
something
I don't want to
crazy.
misquote it because I
Yeah,
can't
me neither.
remember right now.
It was something
But
crazy.
Darrell, I'll shoot him a text and see if he wants to get in contact with you. But it
Let's
was
talk.
something. It was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm kicking myself right now that I can't remember. Oh man, here I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he cut the
freaking text
time
him.
for like Cerakote curing and like drastically. I remember it was something really good.
Oh, man. Yeah, let me talk to him.
It's all proprietary, like
Yeah.
the chemicals and stuff, and the I guess some kind of whatever they use inside the oven.
And he said you could put plastic in there and it wouldn't bother it
Yeah,
because
Yeah,
it only. It's crazy. I can't.
I know. And I'm
I
gonna
feel
go watch
bad.
the podcast again, dude.
Yeah, he was so
It,
cool. I feel bad.
it is on our YouTube.
Okay.
I'll look it up and I'll send it to you so you could take a look and then let me know. I'm texting him right now to get the answer to that.
Michael Hernan with Ceracure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ceracure LLC. Shout out to you, Mike.
Yeah, shout out to all the guys who are in the finishing space because finishing is probably one of the roughest, just manufacturing processes, period. Like, not even just in guns, but just period. Like, and to be able to make something and curate something that a customer's just in love with, like, shout out to the finishing guys in the industry because they make the game worth playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they make really cool stuff too. Like
Yeah, man, the coolest stuff. Sorry, my device for some reason is not charging, so I'm switching devices.
gotcha. Well, we're at about an hour. Do you guys have any other questions for Darrell?
No, where can we find you? Are you on social media or?
Yeah, man, Rostick Arms on all platforms. I also have a YouTube channel for my instruction business, Smart Shooters LLC. We do a lot of gun reviews. We got a review of the new Knights Armament KS4 coming. I just uploaded a video with the Canic suppressor on the way here.
This one here.
Yeah, like I'm constantly oh yeah, see look that suppressor right there. See that cap on there? Nope, go up. Up and
Uh,
to the right. See that cap on there? That's the Canic's got a flow of a vent on their suppressor for flow through stuff.
Okay.
And it's everybody's about to flow through, man. Like fuck. Nah, but yeah, I'm on all platforms. You can look me up as Darrell Rostick too. You're free. Like my cell phone number is such public information. You can always text. My phone is naturally set to never receive calls, so don't waste time calling me. But you can always shoot me a text. And I respond to people for anything. People just asking questions about our product, to people being like, "Hey, I just wanted to send you an encouraging message and say keep going." Like,
Oh, that's what's up.
yeah, I respond to everybody. So it's a lot of fun. And shout out to everyone who's reaching out to me and like, hey, I want to do what you do one day. So I have successfully coached two other people who are they just got their FFLs and they are in the process of doing something similar. So shout out to those guys, man. I can't wait till their companies are ready so we can start pushing and promoting.
That's awesome, dude.
I got
So-
a quick question
do a
for you.
joint thing.
Hold on one second, Austin. He Mike just texted me. Maybe this makes sense to you. The H series Sericure,
Yeah.
that oven is 20 minutes, and the C series is 45 minutes.
What?
And yeah, and wood
crazy.
coating, wood coatings are 5 minutes.
Yeah, I need all of that information. We're waiting 2 hours minimum for everything.
Austin, ask your question.
Hey, so have you heard of the best new place to get a holster? The best new place to get a holster is Goliath Defense. All right. If you need a holster for any specific firearm, go check out Goliath Defense. And you heard us talking a lot today about Lego piecing your rifles together, flow through suppressors. If you feel like you need a flow through suppressor or you feel like you need a Lego piece your rifle together, go
Yeah.
check out Cocked Firearms. Okay, Cocked Firearms is the place to be to buy any of your rifle and pistol parts. Okay, and when you buy a pistol and you need to put it somewhere secure on your body, go check out Goliath Defense. Stop using a wet paper bag
Hey,
and keep it secure. All right. That again is Cocked Firearms and Goliath Defense. Use code 2AB at checkout for 10% off.
and
You
that-
know what?
I'm excited.
And before I go, I'm gonna do some. As this show is live, right?
Yes, sir.
So for everybody who catches this show before Monday, I'm gonna have my assistant add code 2AB to our rosticarms.com website, and I'll give anybody from this podcast 10% off of anything you purchase for the weekend.
Dude,
Okay.
Nice.
That out.
Yeah.
As soon as we get off here, we'll make a clip and I'll post it. All right.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it because I
right.
appreciate the opportunity, fellas.
I
Hey, this has
appreciate you
been
coming
awesome,
on.
dude. Yeah.
Hey, that was
So-
my smooth advertisement, wasn't it? That was,
Absolutely. I got to see what it takes to get Rostick Arms up there full time.
that was my smooth advertisement, wasn't it? Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Anything. Well, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next week.
Good night.
God bless you guys.